I generally go and visit people. Sometimes
Mhm.
they want to change things that they have, sometimes they want new. I'll take them things that they've asked for, or sometimes they have repairs. I kind of do a little bit of everything.
So you're kinda like a jewelry concierge,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Yeah.
that's a really great term. I love that. I think I'll use that. Thanks, Liz. That's a good one.
Are you helping them with old jewelry, or can you also connect them with new jewelry?
I can do both. So we can, if they have a piece that they want to recreate, maybe it was their grandmother's ring and it needs repair. It's been well loved and worn for years. Maybe it needs to be built up again. We can do that. And then also, I can, if they wanted to take stones out of that ring and make it into something new, I can do that too.
Welcome to Three Little Fishes. We're three sisters who grew up in the Midwest together, but have since spread across the country. I live in Los Angeles.
I'm in Nashville.
And I live in Philadelphia. We are all married with children, have all had careers, but now we stay at home with our families.
Join us as we share secrets and stories about being women, wives, and mothers.
We welcome you to laugh along, learn something new, reach out, and join our conversation.
So let's jump in.
What's up, fishes?
What's up, fishes?
Do I sound like a sick fish?
You do
you
not
do.
sound good. What's going on? You do not sound well.
I've been trying to get over this cold and it's not going well. So maybe I need to go get checked out. But I didn't want to miss our
Dedication. I love
Yeah,
it.
that is.
with my hoarse voice. So how's everybody doing?
Doing good. I wanted to say, over the weekend was Easter, and we talked about this last week. I had these lamb molds that we've all used for years and years, and I have two. So my oldest was home from school. She made a lamb, and then I made a lamb. And they did come out of the molds. Mine stuck like a little tiny bit at the bottom, and then her little ears came off. So we had to like do
Doctor
a little
them.
surgery with the ears, but they turned out. And so it was kind of cute. And maybe our listeners saw on Instagram, we had like a little voting on that. But anyway, mom called me on Saturday and she was out with her friend Cheryl, and they were in Havana, Illinois, and they were antiquing. And mom called me and said that Cheryl saw a lamb mold at this antique store and insisted that mom buy it. And she was like, if you don't buy it for her, I'm going to buy it for her. So thank you, Cheryl,
Aw,
for having my
Yeah, that's
back.
so
I love
nice.
nice.
that. So now, if you've been listening, I have 3 lamb molds and I have 3 children. So I have legacy gifts for my kiddos, and I'm so grateful. So thank you, Mom. Thank you, Cheryl, for looking out for me and my
Yeah, that's
kids.
great. Well, I made a lamb cake as well, and I did not have as much success getting it out. And I thought I had really buttered and oiled it well, but the the main body came out and the ears came out, which I was like, because you guys told me the ears are hard, but
Yeah.
the bottom did not.
So did
And
your
like
cake like separate in half, or how did
it
that
was
work?
just like the bottom was super thin and it wouldn't
Mm.
like stand up. So I had to lay it down like it was resting.
Did you did you did you fill it? Did you fill the base with the cake mix the whole way?
I did, but I
Oh.
buttered it and I didn't oil it. And
Did you
this
flour it?
I did, but
Did
I
you
don't maybe I didn't use like tell me, do you think I didn't use enough flour or should I have used a different oil?
did you use a pound cake?
I did.
Hmm.
Huh. Is this the first time you use your mold? Because you
Yeah,
this
because
mold
and
cake?
I'm wondering if it's just not as like oiled as much,
Yeah, it
I'm
needs
wondering
to
if
be
like
seasoned
when
maybe.
I store it, if I should put oil on it to store it so it like soaks in more.
Well, Kathy, those cast irons, like you're supposed to season them every so often. So you have to like oil them really well and then you put them in the oven and let them bake in the oil. So
Mhm.
maybe
Oh.
yours needs to be like seasoned.
Oh,
Mhm.
well, you should have told me I needed to do that.
Well, I didn't realize that this was the first time you were using it and you
I
didn't
didn't
season
realize it
it. I
either.
feel like you left out important information about that.
Yeah.
My lamb cake, however, I feel like turned out really well and I had no
Oh,
troubles.
of course.
Um,
Okay, brag, Nancy.
I know.
we did put up all 3 lamb cakes, and if you want to vote to whose lamb cake you like the best, they're up on Instagram. So go ahead and vote and tell us which sister made the best cake. Not that we're competitive at all, but check it out.
Well, mine did not also have coconut.
Mine was winning. I don't know
Oh.
if you guys noticed that or not, but
Oh. Well, it's not
67%.
Well, I just want to say one thing. Mine did not
well,
have coconut on it either because my husband does not like coconut at all. So
Kathy,
Yeah.
do you like
I
do
like
you
it.
like coconut?
Yeah, I do. But I
You
was trying to
do?
be thoughtful of him. So
I think it's fine. You did swirls for
yeah, I kind of
whatever.
textured it. I
I think
did.
it's fine. It doesn't have to be coconut. It just makes it extra, but you don't have to be
Yeah.
extra.
Oh.
So, anyway, I feel like another year has gone by. We've had some success. We're just going to keep on trying and get these lambs
Out of
ready
their
for,
molds.
out of their molds. Good
It
job.
is tricky.
It is
It is
hard.
tricky. I'm
Totally.
impressed that you tried and you have one.
Good job. What else is going on, girls?
Kathy, you said that you found a secret. You said that you learned some secret that Carson has forced you to find. What's this secret?
Yes.
And
So
what did your sweet baby Carson do to make you have to find something?
well, over the weekend he had a dance at school, so they wear nice clothing. Like he wore a sports coat, tie, and a dress shirt. He looked great. He looked adorable. And then the next morning, his coat is like on the floor. I go to pick up his shirt, and I was either gonna take it to the cleaners or just wash it. But as I pick it up, I'm like, what is on this? It looked like tar or something at first. I was like, did you roll around in the
Yeah.
driveway or something?
Yeah.
Like, what is
Oh,
this?
no.
Then he's like, I have no idea, Mom. I'm like, I did not send you out looking like that. And then I thought about it for like a day because I was like, is that ink? I said, is there anything in your pockets? And then the next morning I went and looked at his jacket, and for sure there was a pen stuck in the inside pocket of his jacket that had leaked
Whoopsies.
out and then got
Oh,
on the shirt.
gosh.
Whoopsies.
So the secret I
Oh.
found to getting that ink out is if you spray hairspray on it, it like helps lift it out. You
So
have to
then you
be
spray it and blot, or you spray it and
you
put it in the
spray
washing
it and
machine?
you blot it. That's what I kept doing because there was so much. It's like
Yeah.
unbelievable. I spilled an entire garbage can full of paper towels blotting this
Oh.
ink.
Oh my gosh.
And I actually got, I think the shirt, like almost 99% of it out. The jacket still had one little small spot that I actually took to the cleaners because I'm like, it's too expensive of a jacket to like,
Yeah.
say that
Yeah, you don't
you
want to
can't.
throw it out. Yeah.
Right. But it really did a good job. I mean, honestly, I was impressed. So that's a little secret if you get, some ink on a shirt.
All right, y'all. Before we move on, I just want to mention one quick thing that our Pope just passed away. The Pope just passed away.
Yeah, it's very
Yes.
sad.
Yes.
So I just feel like I wanted to mention that. And so they had that, movie this past
Conclave.
season,
Mhm.
I know. Well, we
Conclave, and
even
now,
talked about this on our podcast before.
yeah,
I mean, the conclave, I mean, to me is fascinating. And I kind of reread about it because I was like, what? I mean, it's a big deal. There's
yeah,
like cardinals all over the countries
The
that
world.
come
Yeah.
like for this. And they show up at the Sistine Chapel in Rome. I think there's 135 of them that vote. And then they can't have any contact with anyone. They have no phones, no TVs,
Yeah.
nothing for the entire time that they're there while they vote. And they vote like a couple times a day. And then they have to have a 2/3 majority vote, and then they send out a signal. Like if it's black smoke, that means no, they haven't decided who's going to be the next pope, and if it's white, that means they decided.
They have a new pope. Yeah.
Yeah,
Huh.
I mean, if anybody saw that movie, I think I do visualize it. Like they all stay in these little rooms. They all have their own little
right,
rooms, and they all are sort of basically sequestered. They eat there, they sleep there, they
Yeah.
don't leave. They have these discussions. It seems like they have
right,
some politicking that goes on about who's going to be nominated or whatever. And then they have these like ballot votes, and then they decide who the next pope is, which is, I mean, I'm not Catholic, but I do think it's an amazing process that they go through. And this person becomes the leader of the Catholic Church, which is an enormous responsibility
right,
globally. So,
right.
I mean, it's sad that he passed, and it is sort of fascinating to watch the whole process sort of matriculate. And I think it starts like 15 to 20, the voting 15 to 20 days after the previous pope passes away. So,
Yeah.
it's something to, we're watching history unfold.
That's
Yeah.
right.
So it's kind of
We are.
amazing.
So today, you guys, we're going to be talking a little bit about legacy on the show. We talked about our lamb cake molds and about how it's had history for us and how we want to pass that tradition on to our kids. We have a lot of kids graduating. We have Mother's Day coming up. And so it got us thinking about legacy pieces of maybe some jewelry. And we have a fun guest that's going to be able to come on today. Her name is Sarah Riley, and she's going to give us some nuggets about maybe passing on some legacy jewelry pieces to your kids. But before we jump into it, I just want to remind everybody to please rate, review, follow, and invite your favorite fishes to jump in and join our conversation. So let's jump in.
So, something that's really happening in my house is getting ready for graduation. I have a high school graduate. Next year, I will have a collegiate graduate. And I'm thinking about gifts. Like, I'm thinking about gifts for the graduates. And then, too, Mother's Day is coming up. So, we've been kind of thinking about what to get our mom. Um, and some of the ideas that I've had for the high school graduates are these like monogrammed leather catch-alls, because there's a lot of
Yes,
boys. Like my graduate's a boy this time. My girls, we got them pieces of jewelry we had made for them. Um, but like these leather catch-alls that you can have engraved, I think is an idea I've had. And then I've also had ideas of some, like if I know what school they're going to, maybe like a little piece of like collegiate wear, like a blanket or a pillow or a
yeah.
sign or something like that to kind of like get them in the groove. What do you guys think? I mean, Kathy, you and I are in the same boat. Like, we both have
Yeah.
boys graduating and we have big parties happening. Like, what are you thinking?
Well, I remember for my oldest, he got a lot of really nice collegiate gifts like pillows. He got like sweatshirts, I think a hat. I think he got like a Yeti cup, that they take to class. That's a really good idea, I think. A lot of people gave him money, which I think he loved because he could help, just put it in the bank and use it this year or used it last year for school. Yeah, I think, it just depends on like how much you want to spend. Like this year, we have so many people to buy for. I
I
feel like
know. I
my
feel that way
son,
too.
yeah, he is super social and he has a lot of friends. And we're like, whoa, what are we gonna do? It's kind of stressing me. Like,
I feel that way too.
like I want to do a meaningful gift, but it's like at the same
Yeah.
time, it's like,
I mean, I think it just depends of where you are and how close you are to people and what your circumstances are.
Yeah.
Like I
right,
think a lot of these kids get excited even to have just a little bit of money, like $20 to it adds up with all these cards, like to have some spending money to like get ready to go. So
right.
Yeah,
I
that's
think
true.
whatever's comfortable for you. But we started thinking about our parents. Our mom and dad really thought legacy gift for us of, I don't know if because we're girls, our mom loves jewelry, and I think we all kind of have a love of jewelry from our mom. Um, and they always bought us just a little trinket of something. And mom and dad, when they gifted it to us, would be like, keep this forever. Here's a remembrance of this was this day in your life. And I always thought that that was such a cool thing that they
Yeah, they
did.
did.
And so it got us thinking about legacy gifts. And Kathy, you have this friend who's a jeweler. Her name is Sarah Riley, and we
Yeah.
invited her to jump into our conversation, and maybe she has some nice nuggets of some ideas for your graduate or somebody special in your life, expensive or not expensive, of just trying to figure out what a special gift could be for you
Yeah, I
and
mean,
yours.
I was talking with Sarah, I think at a lacrosse game one day, and that's kind of when I found out that she was a jeweler. And I was talking about our mom, how she was in the jewelry business as well. And she has her gemology degree in colored stones. And so, like you said, she'd always buy us some really nice pieces. And I think that's why we always love it too. Um, and yeah, I mean,
I'm
I think
excited to hear what Sarah has to say about a boy because, like, the girls are so easy. Boys are a little harder. I know for our son, I'm not buying something new, but we are giving him a nice watch that we've had that we're having, like, cleaned and tuned up and all that stuff for him. But it will be interesting to see what Sarah has to say about male gifts as well. Because,
right.
like, to me, that's a little harder.
All right, you guys, let's have Sarah jump into our conversation.
I would like to welcome Sarah Riley, who is a good friend of mine and happens to be, I think, one of the best kept secrets in Philadelphia. I
Oh,
call
thank you,
her
Kathy.
a private
Welcome,
jeweler,
Sarah.
secret jeweler. She is amazing. So, welcome to Three Little Fishes, Sarah. We're excited to have you.
Thank
Um,
you. What's up, fishes?
What's
what's
up?
up?
Welcome.
Oh, I've been wanting to say that. So fun.
Well, we just wanted, first of all, to just tell us a little bit about yourself and like what you do as a jeweler.
Well, I've been in the jewelry business almost 25 years now in just about every capacity of jewelry, retail, wholesale, auction. And just like you guys, I wanted to be home with my children when they were little and still now. So, taking all the experiences that I had before kids and somewhat during kids, I managed to create I think is sort of the best of both worlds and being able to help people privately and just be able to do everything that I love, be home with my kids and my love for jewelry. So
Well, I
always
love
makes
that.
That's
everybody
a great
happy. Yeah.
balance. Great
It
balance.
is. So, like, tell us, like, what do you do? Do people come to you? Do you go to them? Like, how does this whole thing work? Like,
So that's a great
talk me
question.
through it.
Since the kids are a little bit older, they're both in high school and one's almost done. I generally have most of my days free um, to go, and I generally go and visit people. Now that we have just moved out to the country, it's a little bit easier for me to go to them. Sometimes
Mhm.
they want to change things that they have. Sometimes they want new. I'll take them things that they've asked for, or sometimes they have repairs. I kind of do a little bit of everything. Um,
Right.
so it's
So you're
really,
kind of like a jewelry concierge,
yeah, that's a
right?
great, yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
that
a really
actually is
great
a
term. I like
great
that. I think I'll use
Yeah.
that. Thanks, Liz. That's a good one.
So how do they find you? Like if somebody was thinking, "Oh, I would like to get this ring reset,"
Yeah.
or is it are you helping them with old jewelry, or can you also connect them with new jewelry?
I can do both. So we can, if they have a piece that they want to recreate, maybe it was their grandmother's ring and it needs repair. It's been well loved and worn for years. Maybe it needs to be built up again. We can do that. And then also, I can, if they wanted to take stones out of that ring and make it into something new, I can do that too. So
Right.
maybe they want to take stones out of the ring and make them into earrings or make it into a pendant for a present for their granddaughter or their daughter, things like that.
So are you also a designer? Like will you come up with the sketch and like take it to somebody to make it?
Yes. Yeah. I wouldn't call myself a designer, although I've been in the business a long time that I've seen a lot of designs and very often I can find pictures of things. So we can work together to find what works for them and kind of create a vision for them, which is really fun. And there are
Mhm.
the
Yeah.
computer programs now so you can make what's called a CAD design and it's like a computer generated design that will show you what the piece will look like when it's completed.
Oh, wow, that's
So
neat.
it's a neat way for people to visualize it if they need to.
Yeah.
Like how I don't understand. So like you purchase things, do you purchase gold and gemstones and all that? And so you have that and then you give it to somebody that you work with that kind of creates it cuz you don't have like a little workshop
No,
in your
Lab
house.
in your
no,
house.
I'm
Yeah.
not a
Okay.
bench jeweler, absolutely not, and I don't pretend to be, nor do I
Yeah.
have the skill for that. But I have someone that I work with who makes all the jewelry for me if it needs to be handmade or custom made. And then I also have resources that I use for things that are already done. So
Yeah.
a little bit of
Right.
both. Yeah.
So I've been married for a while and I have a diamond ring and I actually just got it re-tipped
Oh, great.
because it's a princess cut and it kind of gets knocked around a lot. And I was shocked at how expensive it was to get it re-tipped because gold is so
Yeah.
expensive right now,
Gold
you
is
Yeah,
know?
through the roof.
I
I
was hoping
couldn't
you would
believe it.
talk about this, Sarah.
So tell us tell our listeners what re-tipping is and how often do people have to do it
So
typically?
retipping is generally done on engagement rings. That's the where I see it the most. And the prongs that hold the diamond or whatever stone that you may have in place, um, the prongs then hold the stone in, and then the tips
Mhm.
of those can wear down over time.
Okay.
So they should look almost like little bubbles in the corners of your stone. And sometimes they can tend to look flat. So
Mhm.
you just want to get those built up so there isn't any safety issue where you might lose your stone or you can bend a prong or something like that. And when
Right.
we wear something like that every day, I would say, I mean, I've never had mine done. We've almost been married 20 years. So every, 20 years or so. But I
Mhm.
take my engagement ring off a lot too. Some people never take them off. So really
Mhm.
depends on
Mhm.
Right.
how physical you are as well.
Mhm. And then
Uh,
like the cost of gold right now,
Oh,
are you feeling that with your business? Like
absolutely.
do
It,
people use gold still or is platinum still the thing? Like I happen to have gold
mhm.
engagement rings and gold rings because I don't know, I guess I've been married a long time, but I mean, do people use gold or do they use platinum still? Like, because
Well,
that was such a trend for so
it
long.
it was a huge trend, and things go up and down. So I think people use gold and platinum for sure. Still, gold is so high right now. I checked it this morning. It was over $3,400 an ounce, which is just
yeah, that's
astronomical.
unbelievable.
Yeah, it's
Wow.
Unbelievable.
unbelievable.
Wow.
So I've been helping a lot of people actually sell their old gold that they don't want anymore and get money for that. And but on the other hand, if somebody wants a gold bangle for a present for their wife, it's pretty pricey right now.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
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 I mean, do a lot of people like, is that still a thing to bring you old gold to have it melted down?
Absolutely, especially right now. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, you
Okay.
can make a lot of money. Yeah, I help a
Yeah.
lot of people do that.
I'm actually
Yeah.
thinking about that because I have some old gold that I don't wear, but it's still in my jewelry box. I'm
Yeah.
like, maybe I should melt it down and like have something made from it. I don't want to
Yeah.
necessarily get rid of it, but like,
Right.
Right.
I
Yeah,
mean, I have
sometimes
two
you
daughters. It would be kind of fun to make some sort of like legacy piece or something for them out of that. Does it
yes.
matter if it's like some is 18 karat, some is 16 karat, some is 24? Like, can you just kind of marry all of that together? And
Well, no, not really, because each one is worth a different amount. So you would get a certain
Oh,
amount for most people have 18 and 14. So the 18 is more valuable than the 14. And what a lot of people do is even though they want to make, let's say, like a wedding band out of their grandmother's old necklace or something, right? Um, Very often you really just scrap the old stuff and start fresh with something with new gold, because
okay,
sometimes when it's broken down and melted down, there are different alloys that are in it, and
right.
sometimes it can be recreated and sometimes it can't. So
I see.
I think a lot
Okay.
of people right now are selling, old big 80s earrings and broken little chains that they've had or things like that. I think they're not really wearing this right now. So may as well repurpose it or get some money for it.
I have a graduate this year. Kathy has a graduate. Do you have a graduate this year?
I do. Yep.
Yeah. So now all of our graduates happen to be boys, but when we have two girls. When the girls graduated, we got them pieces of jewelry for their graduation, and we didn't spend a gob of money, like $600 or $800 or
Yeah.
something for them to have forever, kind of thing. Are there some gift ideas that you are seeing sort of commonly for the girls and even for the boys for high school and college graduations right now?
I am. Right now, I'm working on several high school graduation things. My parents always do for high school graduation for all the grandchildren um, gold signet rings. And whether it be for a boy or a girl, that seems to be a big hit for them. And then I also do a lot of gold signet rings for girls too. So
Hmm.
I brought a little thing here. I
Let me
don't
see.
know
Yeah.
So are
if it
they,
can be
oh,
seen, but
Yeah.
like something like this, this is a
does it have
girl's
their
one.
initial on it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Or,
this is actually mine from high school.
oh, really?
So
Oh,
yeah, my
Oh, that
grandparents
is
did it
such a
for
cute
us.
idea.
And then, and I still wear it, even though it's my maiden name. All my cousins and I all have them. It's really fun.
that's
So
cute.
I love
Yeah.
that
yeah,
idea. That's like such
yeah,
a good like legacy idea, like something
yes,
Yeah.
that you perpetuate throughout the years and the generations. That's such a cute idea. I love
yeah,
that. For boys
You know,
and girls. That
yeah.
is
you know,
such a good
So
idea.
I know, Sarah, we talked about you had some other gift ideas as well, right?
I did.
Didn't
I
you?
brought a couple other little things here in my little stash. I did. I was telling Kathy that Blake's been invited to several girls' graduation parties, and I thought, oh my gosh, what do I do? And then I thought, wait a second, this is my job. I got to be good at this. So I got like little paper clip, silver
Oh,
Paperclip
paper
those
clip
are cute.
bracelets for
bracelets.
the girls,
Yeah.
Yes.
which are so cute. And I love a bracelet because uh, I can look down myself and see it and enjoy it on my wrist.
Yeah.
Where I love earrings too, but I can't see them on me. So I feel like bracelets you can wear as many as you want. Sometimes the girls wear, 6 or 7,
Yeah.
and they can enjoy them too. So I thought, well, that's
Yeah. I
kind of
like
a nice
the
way.
layer.
Yeah,
You
it's fun,
also
isn't
Yeah.
it?
you also
Yeah.
said something about a beaded. Did you bring the beaded
Oh, I didn't
bracelet?
bring the beaded one, But I did bring one that the boys like. That's kind of like a leather,
With
and it
the
just has a
magnet
magnet.
closure.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yes.
These
Oh,
are
Yeah.
that's
cute,
cute.
and the boys like these. And I
And
thought,
they're not
oh,
super expensive, right? It's an
no,
affordable gift and it's fun and it's trendy, right?
yes, yeah, and they can wear it. And I have one son who loves the bracelets, and one who is like, meh, it's not really me. So I mean, you just
Yeah.
have to. It's And then I also brought what I think is another neat one for college too, is like a gold charm bracelet for a girl.
Oh, that's
So
Yes.
pretty.
Yeah.
yeah, I
That is
think these
really
are great. This is
pretty.
just the bracelet part without the charms on it, but it's fun to collect along the way. And then you always kind of have something in your back pocket to celebrate. If there's a like a wedding or I mean, there's always a charm for something.
Yeah.
That is
So,
such a consistent trend here in the South, too. Like all of my girlfriends here have their charm bracelets from when they were growing up.
aw,
And, the solid gold charm is, worth a lot of money
it is worth
now.
a lot. Yes.
I need to get mine out. I have
I
one too.
know. I have
Yeah.
one too. I just haven't added to it recently.
Is there anything, just one last question, or maybe two last questions?
Well,
Is there anything that people should be wary of when they're trying to buy like a simple piece of jewelry, or to know something that will stay tried and true, or don't get caught in a trap of a sales trap?
So I always you have to go to someone that you trust. And that's where I think it's so important. I always um, kind of relate my job to when I go to a mechanic for my car, because if that mechanic says I need my oil changed or I need new brakes, I think, okay, well, I trust you, so I
right.
guess you're telling me the truth. Because I feel like oftentimes people feel like they can't trust a jeweler. So I think the best thing to do is go to somebody that you trust.
So how do you
That would
find
be,
that person? Like, how do we find you, or how do we find that person to trust?
oh, that's a great question. I would say talk to your friends and see if they've had good luck with people. Um, I do say a lot of the big retailers that are, obviously that's not what I do, but you go to somebody that's reputable. And I think a lot of times people kind of know in their gut if it's not quite right, and
Right.
maybe play the 24-hour rule where you think about it for a little bit,
Mhm.
Right.
before
Yeah.
you pull the trigger if it's a big purchase.
Those are
Right.
good
Yeah.
Well,
tips.
that's my
Yeah.
my other question for you was, there's a lot of like lab grown stones now. And like what is your feeling on it?
Well, so lab grown versus naturally mined diamonds are relatively new still. In the lifespan of a diamond being 100 million years old, the lab grown is very new. So they do have to, a good reputable jeweler will disclose the fact that it's a lab grown diamond. The price is going to be much lower than a naturally mined diamond.
Mm-hmm.
And now they also come with certificates. So the GIA, where I went to school, which is the Gemological Institute of America, um, is now doing certificates for lab grown diamonds. And they're also etching certificate numbers on the stone.
So do they hold
So
their value?
a naturally mined diamond will always hold its value. It does go up and down, just like the price of gold goes up and down.
Right.
And the lab grown diamonds really, I can't say that they hold their value. You can have it appraised and you can insure it if you were to lose it, but there's really no intrinsic value to the stone after
So
it's
like you
purchased.
couldn't sell it 10 years later for the same amount?
I doubt it. Yeah, they still haven't even really been out long enough to discover that, but I kind of feel like lab grown diamonds are really good for people like travel jewelry, or if someone wants a really big look and they just don't want to pay the
The
price,
cost.
or
Yeah.
yeah. I don't think it's something that's going to be passed down from generation to generation and have the value that a naturally mined diamond does. So
Mhm.
it's
Mhm.
an interesting thing, and we'll see where it goes. Should be,
Yeah.
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
it has definitely disrupted the diamond market for sure.
Right.
Yeah.
Because they
But
look
there's other
beautiful.
gemstones that are also lab grown, right? So like what I'm seeing
Yeah.
with my older children is like there's engagements happening because everybody's kind of graduated from college and moving on, and there have been a few engagements and weddings happening, and it is sort of interesting to watch this younger generation try to figure out how to pay for a fine piece of jewelry and add put value on it. So I think I've seen some smaller, like genuine diamonds, and then
Mhm.
some lab grown stones too. So, what do
They're
you
out
see
there.
as kind of a trend with that? Well,
Well,
you're a concierge, so you probably see like the people that want the real stuff.
no, I mean, I'll help anybody. I just love I really love just making people happy with their jewelry. I mean, because it's such a
Yeah,
happy time. It's usually celebrating something. So
yeah,
to me,
Right.
that's the best part of it. But um, it's a very different. I mean, if somebody wants a big 4 carat stone, but they don't have $80,000 to spend on it, you can get a lab grown diamond for probably $5,000 or under. So it
Yeah.
depends
that's
on the person.
amazing.
Oh,
It's,
Yes,
wow.
two completely
yeah,
different worlds. So
yeah.
some
Yeah.
people want the look, and we don't, maybe they don't necessarily want to spend that, or, what I mean, especially with engagement rings with couples just starting out and they want to buy a house and they want to, maybe they're helping pay
Yeah.
for their
Right.
wedding, and there's so many expenses now. It's hard.
Yeah, there
Yeah.
are.
Yeah. It's
Can
Yes.
you
hard.
spot can you spot the fake like lab grown diamond just by
It
looking at it?
I know it is very hard. They have the same properties as a naturally mined diamond. So
Yeah. So they
it's
look real.
something. Yeah,
Yeah.
because technically they are real. They have the same properties and they're made out of the same material, but they are just made in a lab versus found in the ground.
It's
Yeah,
fascinating.
it's
It is
fascinating.
fascinating.
Yeah.
Well,
I
Sarah,
mean,
this has been amazing. You have given us so many little nuggets and things for us to think about. It sounds like you have a really cool job and how fun to be able to play with all those stones and
It
I
really is
jewelry.
know.
great.
It
I
is.
could not ask for a better dream job. I just love it. So,
Yeah.
and I've had so
now
much
do
fun.
I mean, I hate to even ask this question. We can edit it out if we need
Oh.
to, but like, do you carry around like a little safe or do you strap it to your body when you're out? Like,
Well, that's
how
a
do you
big
do
mystery.
that?
It's
That is the
very, this is why
mystery.
I don't have an Instagram page and I don't have a website. So,
Yeah.
when Kathy calls me the secret jeweler, I kind of feel like it's
Yeah,
best
it's
that
true.
way. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's best. You're
So if
right.
Yeah.
somebody
Yeah.
wanted to get
Safety.
something from you, that was my question. How
Yeah.
would they reach you? Can we post like your email?
Yeah. My email would be great. And even my phone
Okay.
number. That's fine. Yeah.
Okay. Well, we'll post
Yeah.
those in the show notes. So if
Okay.
somebody wants to talk to you,
That'd be great. I would love that. I've had so much fun seeing you guys and
I mean,
sitting with you.
this is like your busy time of year, right? This is
This,
super
yes,
busy.
this is busy. Mother's Day, graduation, anniversaries. It's a very busy time of year. This is
Yeah.
just
I kind of
second to
feel like,
Christmas.
Sarah,
Yeah.
you might have to do like a little field trip to Nashville. I'll have like a
Yeah.
little cocktail party. We can have like a little jewelry party.
That would be so fun. And I
Oh, have
have
you ever
other
done
friends
that?
in the
Like,
jewelry business. I have not, but I have other friends in the jewelry business who are interested in doing that. One friend who has her own business selling vintage jewelry, and
oh,
she's a good friend of mine. I was talking to her last night, another good friend. So I'm always up for that. Sounds like a really great, yeah,
Mhm. I
yeah,
opportunity.
really
wow.
feel
Yeah.
like a Nashville field trip is in your
I've
future.
only been in Nashville once for a jewelry
I
show,
mean,
so
let me
I
tell
would
you,
love to
girl,
come
you
back.
will love it. It's awesome. Get all my girlfriends over,
Oh, that's
crack
so
some
fun.
champagne. Let's do it.
Okay, that works for me. I love it.
Well,
Thank you
that
so
sounds
much for
good.
coming on. We really appreciate your time and
Oh, thanks so much for
expertise. You gave
having
us
me.
so much to think about. It's just incredible. Thank you.
Oh, well, I love listening to you guys. Thank you, guys.
all right, y'all. What's for dinner?
So I think this week we're going to post a baked ziti recipe. It's great for a family dinner. You could have some leftovers. It's a great reheating kind of one pot dish. So baked ziti this week.
We want to thank you for listening to our podcast and letting us sisters jump into your day. Please make sure to follow, rate, and review us. Have a wonderful spring weekend, sisters out.